Hi, Tubies. I am Queen Auset-Heru, and I am a tarot counselor, advisor, reader, if you will. And I am doing this video today because I have a gift. I have a gift for divination. I'm a priestess of Ma'at, and divination is one of my strongest points. So what I wanted to do was do an informative video that would allow people an opportunity to see what a reading looks like when it's done. People often ask me, what am I going to find out? What are you going to see? What are you going to know? What are you going to tell me? So I wanted to give you an idea of what would come out. Basically, whatever the cards want to come out. So never take anybody with you for your reading that you're afraid of knowing your business. Okay? So, let's start my reading, shall we? Today I'm using one of my favorite decks. I have a lot of decks. I'm a collector. I probably have 30, 35 by now. And one of my favorites is this one. This is the Tarot of Burrows by Courtney Weber. It's autographed. Courtney Weber is a good friend of mine. It's actually by Courtney Weber and George Courtney. It was done in 2010. And it's a really beautiful deck. And let me give you a little bit of the explanation of it. It is an urban contemporary deck set in New York City. So it's a little bit different than the traditional Rider-Waite tarot that most of us learned how to read on. But for a seasoned reader, this is a wonderful deck. For somebody who already knows the cards and knows what they need, this is a wonderful deck. And it's beautiful and it's vivid. And as you're getting ready to see the images on it, they're very realistic. They're real people. They're not cartoons or, drawings. So it adds a little bit to the emotion for me as I'm reading them. So what I decided to do today was a very basic deck. I am doing a 3-card spread. Mind, body, and spirit. And it's basically going to tell me what's going on in my mind, how my emotions are for the body, and how my spirit is going. Now, some people may say you should know what's going on with you. A lot of times people don't. So this is why I do this particular reading on myself. I read myself every day so I can see what's going on with me. And some people do not read themselves or can't read themselves, whatever the case may be. I would say probably because they're worried about being objective, but I have no such problem. Because sometimes when it's yourself, you're not as objective as you could be for another person. So luckily enough for me, I can read myself, and I often do. Okay, so on top of my 3-card spread, I also did what I call 2 clarity cards. The clarity cards tell me overall what's going on and give me a picture so I can kind of understand what the other cards are speaking on. Okay? So the way that I get the cards is I sit here and I just shuffle. I shuffle the deck and then I think of the questions. I think of my mind, my body, my spirit, my clarity. I think of it as I'm shuffling. And when I feel my hands nice and warm, nice and burning, and I know I got the right cards, then I throw down the 5 cards. And I sit and look at them, and then I interpret what they're trying to tell me. Okay? So today they're telling me, number one, I'm going to do the overall clarity first. Today they're telling me that the bottom line is the most important thing going on in my life is I am in love. This is the 2 of Cups, as you can see. This particular card does not necessarily have to indicate romantic love. It actually could indicate a relationship that is just very close. But in my case, since it's my life, I know that I'm obviously in love. So it's telling me that I'm in love. And it's all about union. It's about bonding. It's about loving another person. It's about that closeness, the feelings. The cups are about emotions. So I'm full of emotion towards this person. And there's a lot of that kind of, ooey gooey-ness going on. And then on top of it, I'm Aquarius. So the Aquarius easily loves. So that adds to that. Okay, but the Aquarius also does not always tell when we're in love. So this person that I'm in love with does not know that I'm in love with them because I'm trying to deal with it first. Okay, so it's a secret. It's a secret unbeknownst to even that person. So that's what the cards are telling me, that I'm in love. So it's like, okay, you're in love and don't even try to hide it. We know and we're telling you. The second card of my clarity, my overall, is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor card looks like this, right side up. It's a father holding his child. Okay? When it's upside down, is what we call reversed. Some people do not read reversals. I read reversals because to me they are absolutely paramount. When a card comes up upside down, it means something totally different than when it comes up in the upright, especially in this case. So in this case, what it's telling me is that I am not taking charge. I'm not taking charge. I'm not being in control of the situation. I'm being very passive and kind of weak with it, which is very unusual for me because I'm a very aggressive, assertive kind of queen. And in this particular case, I'm not. I'm being very passive. I'm not taking control. I'm not setting up down boundaries. I'm not laying down a law at all. I'm just kind of letting it be, like kind of letting it happen and not really dealing with it at all, which is terrible. Terrible way to deal with anything, period, especially in this particular case. But I'm uncertain. So because I'm uncertain, that is why I'm dealing with it like that. And the cards are all telling me that it's time to get my head together and not do that anymore, as you're going to see as the spread continues. Okay, so that's what's going on with the overall clarity. Then I would tell the client, who is me, this is your mind, body, and soul. So in the case of that situation, number one, mentally, you are weighing things. I got the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is about weighing things. It's also about it being time to take action. It's time for me to stop, trying to keep the peace or keep the tranquility or whatever it is that I think that I'm doing, and it's time to just go in there. Mentally, it's telling me that I'm weighing things back and forth. And it's also giving me some advice. It's telling me that I need to tap into my gut. I need to tap into my spiritual side. And I need to follow my intuition instead of trying to follow my logic. It's telling me that I'm in my head too much. And I'm weighing it in my head. And I'm not getting anywhere. I'm spinning my wheels. I'm still uncertain. Maybe even a little scared. So on top of that, that's keeping me from moving forward. Okay? So that's what that card is telling me. So it's giving me that advice that I really need to trust my gut and go ahead and deal with that. Now, my second card is the Temperance card. This is my body and emotion card I was telling you guys about. Temperance. My Temperance card came up reversed. Like my Two of Swords came up reversed and my Emperor came up reversed. So since my Temperance card is reversed, it's telling me that I'm having a hard time balancing this. I'm having a hard time reconciling it, dealing with it, blending it, and I am. Which is another reason how come it hasn't moved forward. Having a really hard time with it. Really hard time just processing it, period. So, this Temperance card is telling me that I need to get balanced. It has my emotions unbalanced, and it really does. One minute I'm up, next minute I'm down. I'm uncertain. I don't know what to do. I'm this, I'm that. It's really just like a yo-yo kind of thing. And I need to get balanced. I need to get still. I need to get centered. And I'm a person who is very spiritual, so I need to turn to my spirituality to deal with this, which I already know, and I'm going to do. So that's what's going on with me on an emotional level. It has me up and down, kind of roller coastering, that kind of thing. But I can balance myself out if I follow what I know to be true. And my last card is the Eight of Cups for my spirit. Again, emotion. So my spirit is dealing with a lot of emotion, obviously, and it's unbalanced, which is playing off of the other card. So it's again talking about imbalance. So the imbalance piece here, my emotions are imbalanced and my spirit is unbalanced. And the unbalanced piece here comes from the Eight of Cups because when you see the cups on the traditional card, they're unbalanced. It's like 3 over here and 5 over here instead of a nice split of just 4 and 4. So that's showing you by that symbolism that there's an imbalance in my spirit. And it's also telling you that there's a lot of emotion going on in the spirit. And it's also saying that the person is moving on. So even though all this stuff is going on, obviously my spirit is moving because it wants me to move on, and it's going to help the rest of me move on. So that's a good thing. So this is all telling me that I am going to move forward in this situation, and it's time for me to do all of these things to make it go forth. Now, that's the end of my reading. Now, this was a very fast reading. Generally, if somebody came to the house, I would take my time to read this a whole lot slower. Likewise, I probably wouldn't do a reading this short. Most readings take in half an hour to about an hour. I also throw in an angel card reading, a goddess reading. I have other oracle cards that I will throw in. Sometimes I use the romance deck. If it's a romance situation like this one, I would use the romance deck to piggyback and give me more information. But this is just to give you a small idea of what the tarot card reading looks like. It's not scary, as you can see. It's actually kind of joyous, and it's very hopeful because it tells me if I get my act together, everything will be okay. Okay? So, I want to thank you guys. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching my video. My email address is daughterofra@aol.com. So if you would like to schedule a reading party, or any of the other priestess services that I do, please email me directly. Thank you.